Recently, Kenyan matatus, those colorful minibuses that are an iconic part of Nairobi's transport system, have been featuring a surprising figure, Ibrahim Traoré, the young military leader from Burkina Faso. His face has been painted on the sides of these vehicles, alongside global icons like Bob Marley and Nelson Mandela. The question is, why? Burkina Faso and Kenya are separated by thousands of kilometers, and the two countries don't share much in terms of direct political or economic ties. So why has Traoré, a leader from West Africa, become a symbol of hope and inspiration in East Africa? Here, we would like to take a moment and thank you for supporting us and being a valued part of our strong community. And if you are not yet a member, we encourage you to join us and help build an even stronger community together. Let's get started. Ibrahim Traoré became the leader of Burkina Faso in 2022, at just 34 years old, making him the youngest head of state in the world. His rise to power wasn't the result of an election but a military coup, a move that often raises eyebrows. But in Traoré's case, the situation was far more complex. Burkina Faso was facing multiple crises: growing insurgent attacks in the Sahel region, widespread poverty, and a government that seemed unable or unwilling to address these problems. For many, the government had lost legitimacy, and the country was in desperate need of change. Traoré, who had served as a soldier and seen the failures of the state firsthand, led the charge to overthrow the previous regime. His mission was clear: to restore security, bring stability, and put the needs of the Burkinabe people above all else. What sets Traoré apart from other coup leaders is his vision and his actions. From the beginning, he positioned himself as a defender of Burkina Faso's sovereignty. One of his first major moves was to expel French troops from the country. France, the former colonial power, had maintained a military presence in Burkina Faso under the pretext of fighting insurgency. But Traoré accused them of serving their interests rather than genuinely helping the region. This decision wasn't just symbolic, it was a statement. Traoré was making it clear that Burkina Faso would no longer tolerate foreign interference. He wanted his country to take control of its destiny, free from the shadows of colonialism. His leadership style is often compared to that of Thomas Sankara, Burkina Faso's legendary revolutionary leader. Like Sankara, Traoré speaks openly about the need for African unity, self-reliance, and the rejection of neo-colonialism. These are not just words, they are reflected in his policies and actions. Traoré's boldness and vision have made him a hero, not just in Burkina Faso, but across Africa. And in Kenya, where young people are grappling with their frustrations, his leadership has struck a particularly powerful chord. But what exactly made him a role model? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. At the heart of Ibrahim Traoré's appeal lies his ability to connect leadership with purpose. For many Kenyans, it's not just about what he has done, but how he has done it. His ability to inspire hope, his relatability, and his clear vision for a better future. Traoré's leadership isn't defined by speeches or titles. It's defined by action, conviction, and a sense of urgency that resonates with people who feel left behind by traditional systems of governance. First, there's his unshakable authenticity. In a world where politicians are often seen as out of touch, Traoré's grassroots approach stands out. He communicates directly and candidly, without the polished veneer of public relations experts scripting his every word. For Kenyans, many of whom feel disconnected from leaders who seem more concerned with appearances than substance, this raw honesty is refreshing. Traoré's image as someone who walks the talk is what makes him relatable, especially to the younger generation that craves sincerity over spin. Then, there's his unwavering focus on African solutions to African problems. This resonates deeply with Kenyans, who have witnessed firsthand how external influences have shaped their nation's economic and political policies. From foreign loans that burden the economy to international agreements that often prioritize foreign interests, the frustration with dependency is widespread. Traoré's determination to solve Burkina Faso's challenges internally sets a precedent that Kenyans admire. A leader willing to empower his people instead of seeking approval or aid from external forces. Another key factor is his youth and boldness. which sets him apart from the older, more conservative figures who dominate African politics. At just 35 years old, Traoré's age is an asset, not a liability. He reflects a generational shift in leadership, one that prioritizes innovation, fearlessness, and a willingness to challenge entrenched systems. In Kenya, where over 75% of the population is under the age of 35, Traoré's youth is symbolic. It sends a message that leadership doesn't have to be reserved for the older elite. It can belong to a generation that understands the realities of modern African life.
C'est la main pour créer des initiatives donc pour les jeunes. Nous avons donc lancé l'APEC dans ce sens-là pour permettre de créer ce qu'on appelle nos entreprises que nous voulons mettre sur place.
Traoré also demonstrates a rare quality in leadership, the ability to prioritize collective welfare over personal gain. In Kenya, there's a pervasive cynicism about politicians, fueled by scandals, unchecked corruption, and a perception that leaders prioritize their wealth over public service. Traoré, on the other hand, is seen as someone willing to make sacrifices for his people, whether it's taking on powerful foreign interests or implementing policies that might not immediately benefit the elite. This selflessness makes him stand out as a role model in a region where personal enrichment often takes precedence over public good. Perhaps most significantly, Traoré has become a symbol of possibility and resilience. His rise to leadership, despite the challenges Burkina Faso faced, is a testament to what can be achieved with vision and determination. For Kenyans who are grappling with issues like economic inequality, rising living costs, and political stagnation, Traoré's story is a reminder that progress is possible, even in the face of overwhelming odds. It's not just his actions that inspire, it's the hope he represents. Traoré shows that transformative leadership can come from unexpected places, and that change doesn't require perfection, just courage and commitment. Finally, there's the visual and cultural impact of his representation. In Kenya, the use of matatus as cultural billboards amplifies his role model status. These vehicles are more than just transport. They're tools of expression, reflecting the collective aspirations and frustrations of the people who use them. By appearing on matatus, Traoré isn't just admired, he's integrated into the everyday lives of Kenyans. He becomes part of the conversation, part of the identity of a people who see in him the kind of leader they long for. It's a visual reminder that leadership doesn't have to be distant or disconnected. It can be relatable, dynamic, and deeply inspiring. What makes Traoré a role model isn't just his policies or his bold actions. It's the way he embodies a new kind of leadership. He represents strength without arrogance, authenticity without pretense, and hope without false promises. For young Kenyans, who are eager for change but often disillusioned with the system, Traoré offers a blueprint for what's possible. He's not just a leader, he's a symbol of a better future. In Kenya, Traoré's story isn't just about admiration, it's also about reflection. Kenya has long been seen as a leader in East Africa, with a growing economy, a vibrant tech industry, and significant influence on the continent. But beneath the surface, many Kenyans feel disillusioned. Rising living costs, unemployment, and corruption scandals have left a bitter taste for much of the population. Traoré's leadership highlights the stark contrast between bold, decisive action and the cautious, bureaucratic style of politics that many Kenyans are used to. His willingness to challenge powerful interests and make difficult decisions is something that resonates deeply. For young Kenyans, this raises an important question. What kind of leadership do they want for their future? Traoré's story serves as a reminder that leadership isn't just about holding power. It's about using that power to genuinely serve the people. This growing admiration for Traoré is part of a larger conversation happening across Africa. It's about redefining what leadership should look like in a continent that's ready to chart its course. Apart from people appreciating Traoré's beliefs about Africa, people also relate to what he thinks of the West. For decades, African nations have been tied to systems of dependency on foreign aid, foreign investment, and foreign approval. But leaders like Traoré are challenging that narrative. They're proving that rejecting external control and prioritizing self-reliance is possible. In Kenya, this message resonates deeply. It's not just about Burkina Faso. It's about the idea of African unity and independence. Traoré's leadership represents a shift in mindset, one where African countries take pride in solving their problems and building their futures. Apart from this, the presence of Ibrahim Traoré's image on Kenyan matatus raises an important and somewhat uncomfortable question. Does this admiration suggest dissatisfaction with Kenya's current leadership? Could it be a symbolic expression of a deeper longing for a different kind of governance, one that resonates with the bold, decisive, and people-first approach that Traoré embodies? At its core, this phenomenon speaks volumes about the sentiments of ordinary Kenyans, particularly the youth, and what they might be trying to communicate. Kenya's current political environment, like many others, is riddled with frustrations. Rising living costs, stagnant wages, unemployment, and the perception of widespread corruption have created a growing disconnect between the government and the people. Many citizens, particularly young Kenyans, feel that their voices are not being heard and their concerns are not being addressed. These frustrations have only been exacerbated by tough economic policies, the burden of debt, and what some view as overly cautious leadership that prioritizes external interests over domestic needs. For many, Traoré symbolizes the kind of leader they feel is missing. His unapologetic focus on sovereignty, his willingness to make tough decisions, and his direct, no-nonsense approach stand in stark contrast to the cautious, calculated style that characterizes much of Kenya's political elite. By idolizing Traoré, Kenyans may not just be admiring him, they may be pointing out the shortcomings of their leadership. Traoré's appeal lies in his decisiveness. He doesn't wait for consensus or external validation, he acts. When he expelled French troops from Burkina Faso, it was a bold move that sent shockwaves through the international community. But for the people of Burkina Faso, it was a statement of self-respect and sovereignty. For Kenyans, who often see their leaders navigating carefully around powerful international players, this kind of boldness is both inspiring and enviable. Idolizing Traoré could be seen as a way of saying, "We want a leader who will stand up for us, no matter the cost." It's a subtle but powerful critique of what they perceive as a lack of courage in their political system. Traoré's approach resonates deeply because it reflects a willingness to take risks for the greater good, something many Kenyans feel is missing at home. But is it also a cry for help? On some level, yes. The admiration for Traoré isn't just about him, it's about what he represents: hope, change, and a break from the status quo. For many Kenyans, idolizing Traoré may be a way of expressing their frustrations with the system. It's a way of saying, we need something different, and we need it now. This symbolic cry for help isn't necessarily directed at any one individual or political party, it's aimed at the broader system. Kenyans are not just looking for a leader like Traoré, they're looking for the kind of leadership he embodies: fearless, people-centered, and unapologetically independent. It's a way of calling attention to the gap between what they have and what they need. It's important to note that this phenomenon is largely driven by young people. However, this demographic often feels underrepresented in the corridors of power. The idolization of Traoré, a young leader who has defied expectations and carved out his path, speaks directly to their desire for representation and relevance. For young Kenyans, Traoré's story is not just inspiring, it's personal. It reflects their struggles, frustrations, and dreams for a better future. By celebrating him, they're also expressing their dissatisfaction with a system that often sidelines their voices. It's a way of saying, if he can do it, why can't we? Ultimately, the idolization of Traoré is about more than just admiration. It's about what he represents to Kenyans. His face on a matatu is a visual reminder of the kind of leadership they long for. Leadership that is bold, unapologetic, and committed to the people. It's a critique of the current system, a cry for help, and a declaration of hope all rolled into one. It's important to note that this doesn't mean Kenyans have completely given up on their leaders. Rather, it's a wake-up call, a way of expressing what they want to see more of. They want action, not just words. They want bold decisions, not just safe ones. And above all, they want leaders who are unafraid to put the people first, no matter the cost. This phenomenon isn't just about Kenya or Burkina Faso, it's part of a larger conversation happening across Africa. As the continent grapples with issues like inequality, dependency, and the lingering legacies of colonialism, leaders like Traoré are becoming symbols of a new way forward. For Kenyans, idolizing Traoré is about more than just admiration. It's about imagining a future where Africa's leaders are fearless, independent, and truly representative of the people they serve. Now, what does this mean for Kenya's president? William Ruto should take note of this growing admiration for Ibrahim Traoré. It's not just a fleeting trend or a simple cultural curiosity. It's a reflection of deeper sentiments within Kenyan society. For a sitting president, the idolization of a foreign leader, particularly one who is seen as bold, decisive, and people-centered, is a symbolic message that can't be ignored. It's a pulse check on the frustrations and aspirations of the people, and if interpreted wisely, it could provide invaluable insights into what Kenyans truly want from their leadership. The admiration for Traoré is, at its core, about the kind of leadership Kenyans feel is missing. It's a subtle but powerful critique of the current political system. When young people in Nairobi paint Traoré's face on Matatus and celebrate his decisions, they're essentially saying, "This is the kind of leadership we respect." For Ruto, this isn't just a critique of his government. It's an opportunity to address the disconnect between the people's expectations and what they perceive as the reality of his leadership. Ruto campaigned on a platform of economic transformation and improving the lives of ordinary Kenyans. But with the rising cost of living, mounting debts, and growing frustrations over governance, many feel these promises haven't been fulfilled. The idolization of Traoré is a reflection of that discontent, a way for Kenyans to express their desire for bold, people-first leadership without directly criticizing their president. Traoré's appeal lies in his decisiveness. Kenyans admire the fact that he takes bold, clear actions, even controversial ones, without hesitation. Whether it's expelling foreign troops or tackling insurgency head-on, Traoré's leadership sends a message of strength and independence. For Ruto, this is a reminder that calculated, cautious leadership, while often necessary, must be balanced with moments of boldness to inspire confidence and hope in the people. A significant portion of the population driving this admiration for Traoré is Kenya's youth. This demographic is vocal, politically aware, and deeply frustrated with the lack of opportunities and representation in government. If Ruto wants to win their trust and respect, he needs to show that he's listening to their concerns. Initiatives focused on job creation, affordable education, and empowering young entrepreneurs could help bridge this gap. One of the key reasons Traoré resonates with Kenyans is his strong stance on sovereignty and self-reliance. In Kenya, there's a growing unease about the country's dependence on foreign loans and aid and the perceived influence of external powers on domestic policies. Ruto should take this as a cue to emphasize Kenya's independence in his governance, ensuring that decisions prioritize the welfare of Kenyans over external pressures. Traoré's leadership is often described as authentic and relatable. He doesn't speak in carefully crafted sound bites. He speaks from the heart, and people believe in his sincerity. For Ruto, this is a reminder of the importance of connecting with the public on a human level. Being seen as approachable, understanding, and genuinely invested in the lives of ordinary citizens could help rebuild trust and confidence. If Ruto brushes off this phenomenon as a passing trend, he risks missing a critical opportunity to address the root causes of discontent. The admiration for Traoré isn't just about Burkina Faso. It's about what Kenyans feel is lacking in their leadership. By ignoring it, Ruto risks allowing that dissatisfaction to grow, potentially fueling greater disillusionment and, ultimately, more vocal demands for change. Political leadership isn't just about managing policies. It's about understanding the mood of the people and responding to it. Traoré's popularity in Kenya is a clear signal that people are yearning for leadership that feels courageous, responsive, and people-centered. If Ruto doesn't pay attention to this sentiment, it could widen the gap between his government and the very people he pledged to serve. On the flip side, this could be a valuable moment of self-reflection for Ruto and his administration. Instead of viewing the admiration for Traoré as a threat or a critique, he could see it as an opportunity to realign his leadership with the people's needs. What would it take to become the kind of leader Kenyans paint on Matatus? What steps can he take to demonstrate the boldness, authenticity, and people-first governance that Kenyans admire in Traoré. Let us know in the comments section. Do you think Ruto will take action? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.